This broadcast is dedicated to the bright race, the future race, the solar intelligent beings who are walking amongst the black race. This is also dedicated to the black race. No, the two are not synonymous. They're separate. This is dedicated to the black race, those who are in darkness, because when I refer to the black race, African people will think they come from that landmass and that continent or that area, which was that title was given to us by the Romans, the white man who wanted to marginalize us into that section as people of that land. You know, they marginalized us. Their ideas are still linked in our way of thinking and our limitations toward thinking futuristically, the limitations that they put on us, and the limitations that we put on ourselves within the black race. So now there has to be an evolution out of the black race as bright people, future people, as solar people, solar intelligent people, bright race, soul people, people of light. The black race, I dedicate this to them because you have a lot of simple-minded people within the black race who are sitting around talking about, oh, you know, when I talk about technology and they go up there and say, oh, well, brother, you sitting on the white man's Facebook, or you using the white man's technology, or you using this technology from the white man, or you using that from the white man. Let me tell you something. Let me tell everybody within listening in earshot, there's no such thing as white man's technology. There's no such thing as black man's technology. All technology is future knowledge. All technology comes from the future. And man, in the present, is nothing but a receiver or an instrument to bring that future knowledge into the present. That knowledge is sent to people, i.e. inspiration. There is no such thing as white man's technology. The niggas who talk like that, the ones who say things like that, you're still under the mindset or under that slave mentality of the white man, and you think that he's bringing through or that he's on a higher level or more intelligent than the so-called or the most intelligent person on the planet. There is no such thing as technology coming from people. Technology comes through people. Inspiration. Knowledge that is long overdue to be presented in the present state to lead people into the future, i.e. light knowledge, light messages, solar knowledge, knowledge that is being sent from the future, from future beings who are advanced in their way of thinking. Your children, your great-grandchildren, those futuristic beings are sending knowledge into the present state, into to move people forward in their evolution. The white man tells you this, but black people still don't listen because they're under that mindset that he's the authority, that he knows everything, and that he created all this, and that, you know, he's really smart, and he's really not. I said a couple of days ago that Einstein wasn't smart, that Nikola Tesla wasn't smart. They were transmitters. They were receiving messages to bring things into existence in the present state from the future. That's all these people are. The people who go to school and excel in grades and things like that, they're not intelligent. They're educated. It doesn't take any real intelligence to memorize things in your school system, present-day knowledge or past knowledge or historical knowledge. It doesn't take any real rocket scientist to be a tape recorder and memorize things. Just as you exist as a receiver to pull in future knowledge into the present, to lead people into the future. I always go to the beginning of the last millennium, where all of the technology came in the last 50 years, or the last 100 years. That was solar knowledge. That was knowledge being passed on solar waves, on solar frequency. The best receivers who are turned off on the planet today are your so-called black race, your solar beings. The white man receives his he receives technology. I'm not going to say his technology because there's no such thing. He receives technology from the future. How does he receive technology from the future? Simple. Satellites. What does a satellite do? A satellite picks up light reading. That's why it's called satellite. Picks up light messages, sends them here, or transmits them to space, or transmits them to Earth. A lot of these people were in a reception mode, and they were chosen to bring in technology from the future. Those future beings, just as I said, just as you exist in the present and that people existed in the past, there are people who already exist in the future. People who are highly intelligent, who are sending messages into the present via solar waves. Because the solar waves are coming more and stronger focused to this planet. They tell you all the time, with the falling down of the ozone layer, with the blotting out of the ozone layer, you have heat frequency and solar energy coming here. Light carries messages. So if light carries messages and brings frequency and carries encoded messages, then there's going to be intelligence on that. See, the white man understood that. He talks about a solar energy, bringing the solar energy here, putting up solar panels. Why does he talk about putting up solar panels? Why does he talk about solar energy is the next, even though they're using the right, solar energy is the next thing in replacing fossil fuel and things like that, even though they've been talking about that for years? Why are they talking about that? Because the solar energy is coming to this planet. It's not like they have any other choice. So they might as well utilize it. It might as well be aimed to charging the planet or running or generating the planet. Because it's already acting. The sun is already acting as a generator on the planet anyway. The sun's rays do serve to raise vegetation and life and give heat to the planet and bring about the regulation of seasons and the helping in the time frame on this planet. It will also serve as to pass messages to people on this planet, and it has been serving as such. The future beings will use light waves or will use solar energy to pass messages. They've been doing so. I always point back to Egypt where they show the people with the solar disk on their heads and the sun over their heads, and how they say in this society that light or bright people mean intelligent people, people who are in tune with light messages, solar messages. If you are truly in tune with solar messages, messages are coming from the future, then you will be led into the future. Right? People talk about being led by the light. What does that really mean? Being led by the light. The messages are in the light. The messages are in the light to guide you. In Masonry, they talk about degrees and the heating up of degrees and whatnot. As you go up in degrees or in heat, which is equal to light, you become smarter. You raise in your intelligence. That's all dealing with light messages, solar messages, all dealing with light reading, encoded messages in that light, in that solar energy. That's solar intelligence. The so-called Egyptians or the Kemites and whatnot, they understood about solar intellect on a certain level. They understood it. They were called sun people. The sun was, they said they thought they was worshiping the sun, but it was misunderstood in their knowledge that they were not actually worshiping the sun. They were dealing with the intelligence coming from the light. All light, lesser light, is based on solar light. Messages. Messages that can be read by people who are in tune. Your first readers of solar intelligence are supposed to be your people who are going around calling themselves black people, because you have souls. You have solar plexus. Your solar plex was put inside of you to read light messages, to receive energy from the sun. That's what it's there for. The solar energy gave rays to your hair, to frequencies in you, to channel certain things, to bring about certain intelligence in you. Right? But our people are too busy being described or identified and sectioned off as Africans and blacks that they're not tuning into the light frequency within themselves, that solar energy within themselves. Now, to a lot of our people, I know this sounds, brother, that's a little esoteric and that's a little far out there. No, it's really not. This is physical knowledge. Physical knowledge. The white man tells you all the time where the technology comes. He'll tell you, like I said, go watch his Ancient Aliens and all that stuff. He tells you that he had help in receiving the intelligence he got. He tells you. What do you think he means when he says he had help? You understand? He was geared towards certain things. He was given messages. He was helped out. What took them from being in caves and scratching their ass to where they are now? They were tuning in. They were tuning in. They have a solar plex, a complex, in a sense, through their so-called chakra points, which function as a artificial solar plex. We have a solar system within us. We don't have a solar plex. I'm going to teach you on that in a minute. A lot of our people go, oh, that's crazy, brother. No. The humans have solar plexes, which operate as artificial solar system. It's not. We have a full and natural solar system by way of our solar plex, and we are the first natural receivers of higher intelligence. This is why, if you look today, all your so-called intelligent people, like your Einstein and them, they were trying to, and Tesla, they couldn't rebuild, and even your so-called Japanese, who are considered to be your premier geniuses in the society in mathematics and things like that, they still can't build or understand how the pyramids were made. And they used modern day, they were showing a documentary where they used modern day equipment trying to build those pyramids, and they couldn't get it. The mathematical precision of how it was built, how the bricks were inlaid, they couldn't get it. So if our people were in tune that much back then, can you imagine where we're supposed to be now? What slowed our evolution? This whole black thing, this whole African thing, this whole connection to these limited terminologies. That's what slowed us down. Instead of being those solar intelligent beings. When I use the word intellect, one who is chosen inner knowledge, or who is chosen from inside to receive higher intelligence. A lot of our people thought when I said intellect, they thought I was talking about education and things like that. No, I was talking about people who are in tune through the solar plex to the central, and through the central sun to the outer sun, to receive knowledge or receive encoded messages coming to them. But like I said, to a lot of our people who are in that submental state, who are thinking in terms of Africa and black and whatnot, this is not going to resonate with them, because their memory card has been filled up with that sort of information. Black, African, things like that, it's not going to resonate. But to the people who are advancing in their way of thinking, who are moving beyond the whole black thing and the African thing, and know that that's a limited form of information that we received from the white man and everybody else, even the black man, those of our people who are tuning in, where that solar plex is starting to key in to that solar energy that's coming to the planet with those encoded messages to lead our people into the future as the bright race who coming out of the black race, you'll know what I'm speaking about. You'll feel this evolution taking place. The majority of the black race won't feel it. This is all part of the evolution. It's supposed to lead a new people into the future. Just as we came into this new millennium, all right, just as we came into this new millennium, an evolution was taking place. An evolution was taking place to move people to the forefront, to replace a people that can no longer receive knowledge. The black race has come to the end of the road. How many times are we going to keep hearing that we black, we African, this over and over and over again? Now what? We exist here as receivers of solar intelligence. That's what we're supposed to exist here as. We are constantly moving into the future to receive higher knowledge in the present to move us into the future. Right? That's what took us from building small structures in Nubia and Sumeria and things like to building bigger structures and going forward into Egypt and going further out. The evolution stopped. So then we go to that and we build these structures. Then we go back to Africa, and then we go into Africa, and then we living in huts. Where's the evolution there? That was not an evolution. That was a backwards move. That threw us way off the evolution. We were supposed to be building structures, greater structures now, solar structures, solar complexes. This is what we were supposed to be doing in this day and time. We were supposed to be building earthbound solar systems as solar beings, people receiving solar intelligence. Our children, 15, 16 years old, were supposed to be the architects of a solar magnetic system on this planet, pulling in solar energy where the fossil fuel and things would have been done away with. This is where we're supposed to be heading. This is where it's supposed to be headed. However, because we got stuck in things like religion and Pan-Africanism and this whole nationality thing, and pushing ourselves into allowing ourselves to be marginalized into an area and under this identity that came from the white man of African, we have not been able to do that. We can't fathom that. We can't function as solar intelligent beings when we are going under the term black people, because the minute you say black, it automatically resonates which is opposite of white, and we're not supposed to exist as people who are opposite of anything. You understand that? We are supposed to be receiving solar intelligence, solar intel. We are supposed to be receiving solar energy in the daytime, charging up by day. If you notice, a lot of our people move faster when the sun is out. We're charging by day, and we're supposed to be doing mental work at night. We're supposed to charge by day and receive mental knowledge at night. A lot of our people work better at night. If those of you in tune with me know what I'm talking about, you work your best mental work comes at night, in the night hours, not in the day hours, in the night hours. That's done for a reason, because you are receiving charge and you are receiving encoded messages on that solar light. You're receiving it, and it's coming back out in the darkness. It comes back out in the dark hours as that light that is shining in the dark. You're supposed to be doing your mental work at night. Your children are supposed to be educated at night. Night school, not in the daytime. Daytime is supposed to be for playing, sleeping. In the night, they're supposed to be receiving or doing mental work, learning, putting out that which they've taken in through this solar intelligence that's coming to the planet. The light is not just coming here to take just to give energy off to the planet. Messages are being sent in the light. Your mental capabilities are linked and housed to that light. That solar energy is supposed to turn on certain capabilities in you and enact certain capabilities in you, higher capabilities, things that are not going to resonate with everybody within the so-called black race. Because you still got people in 2012 that believe that technology comes from man. They don't acknowledge it coming through. The future does exist already. We are receiving from the future. Those who are in the future, the Amen beings, are the ascendants, are sending light messages to us in this day and time to receive. Now, like I said, to a lot of people, I know that sounds crazy, and and you worry about, oh, the white man, because like I said, you really think that they brought technology when they tell you that they didn't. They'll tell you, but you got simple-minded niggas that still believe that they brought technology here, that they wouldn't utilize these instruments. I said the black man doesn't bring anything either. We are all supposed to be here as receivers. However, the humans only bring bits and pieces of technology here. They don't bring the whole thing. There's always still a bigger thing that's supposed to be coming out, supposed to be bigger output, because they as artificial beings will only present half of the picture. There's was supposed to be more to telephones. There was supposed to be more to computers. We're supposed to be bringing them more. We were supposed to be bringing the beginning and all the way out. But our people were so busy in crisis, dealing still with the race thing, we wasn't tuning in as light beings, as solar beings. Only a few of our people did. We were kept in crisis. We were kept in that slave mentality, so we wasn't receiving that higher intelligence. A lot of our people received higher knowledge, but we did nothing with it. We ignored it. We paid no attention, because the first thing that came into our heads was, this ain't no thought for a black man to have, or I can't do nothing with this because I'm black. So that black thing that whole black identity has served as a prison. It has served as a prison in our evolution. We have managed to block the solar intelligence that was supposed to be coming to us in this day and time. We blocked it. We blocked these light messages. You'll say things like, oh, I had this thought in my head, but or this dream or whatever, and I didn't know what it was, and it was supposed to be something, That's why in this society you're kept on a certain level. You're kept on a certain submental frequency where you're not going to receive that light intelligence. They take time in distracting you with all kinds of stupid things. Drugs, parties, movies, TV, all kinds of things. All that is meant to be a distraction, so you're not receiving that higher intelligence, that solar frequency or that solar intelligence. See, back then, when the Egyptians and all those people, and the ancient Kemites and the Nubians, they didn't have the distractions of the white man and the rest of the humans and all the nonsense. That's why they were able to receive, and they were able to build and do the things they were doing. But when you have this nonsense, where you've accepted this garbage, that you African, that you Moorish, that you all these things, and in reaction to the white man and his whole racial circle of nonsense or his circle of madness, you're not going to be receiving. Because in your world, in your mind, you've accepted how things are, how you think things are. You don't see this as an artificial distraction that was placed in your head to block you. These people who receive these forms of intelligence, this solar intelligence, these solar vampires, who received this technology in the last millennium and even into this millennium, they make sure they keep this whole racial thing going. They lend a hand to it. They lend a hand to keeping the chaos going and the confusion going, so that they can receive and that you can't. They do that purposely, so that you can receive, so that you can't receive. They put this stupid music out for your children to listen to, this stupid hip-hop and all this stuff out so your children can't receive nothing higher. They planting stupid stories like people eating people and all kind of nonsense, and some zombie, probably just one story with some nigga hopped up on drugs, was eating somebody and biting on somebody. Now they claim it's going on all over. All manufactured news to keep you from tuning in. And I hear the most stupidest things on Facebook, the most dumbest conversations. These people who are trafficking in this stupid conversation, whether the black woman talking about, oh, I want a man and whatnot, or some stupidity. You understand? This energy that's being given to the distractions and the stupidity can be utilized to be receiving this solar knowledge that's coming through, this solar intelligence. However, a lot of our people are not going to be able to receive it. because their minds are on that submental level. They can't conceive of this. That's why they'll always be in a reactionary stage. They'll always be at the hands or at the mercy of the people that rule the world through technology. When at one time, your hand was the one that brought that technology came through. Your mind, technology came through your mind. Your mind is not your brain. Your mind is a receiver. Your mind is carries a frequency. It is a magnetic force field around your brain that pulls in that light intelligence or that solar intelligence. Your brain is a physical, what's the word I want to use? Stuck for a word. It's a physical, I'll come back to it. It's in my head. I'm sorry. It's a physical chamber to receive or to push out messages. You understand? That is surrounded by the mind or the mind field, which pulls in future intelligence or higher intelligence. It pulls it in. You act as an instrument of intelligence. That's what I meant to say, a power plant. Your mind is like a power plant. Your brain is like a power plant. It pulls in things and passes out messages like a message center. Pulls in things and passes out messages to go throughout your body, throughout your nerve endings. And that's only possible through the mental connection with that solar, with those solar waves that pass messages on it, encoded messages. You're supposed to be the first one in tune with that. However, our people are not in tune with that because, like I said, it's not Africa, it's not things that they're used to, so they're not going to get that. They're not going to get that. The bright race will tune in to a higher frequency. The bright race will tune into a higher frequency. They will receive a higher intelligence. The black race will be the biggest obstacles in the way of that. They'll downplay it. But what's real to them is Africa. What's real to them is slavery. What's real to them is their interaction with the white race. That's real to them. You understand? That's real to them. This type of thing will turn them off. This type of thing won't resonate with them. It would have been easy to get up and talk about things like Africa and Egypt and things like that, but you heard that to death. How many times can you hear that? You are supposed to be moving forward in intelligence. These light messages are supposed to be bringing up higher mental capabilities in you. When you talk about things like telepathy, psychometry, and things like that, these innate abilities are being generated in you. These solar messages are actually penetrating your mind field and opening up spaces in your brain and passages and centers in your brain to come in contact with those capabilities. So as this solar energy that's coming, or this solar light that's coming through, this intelligence is coming through this atmosphere, your intelligence will boost. Your level of intelligence will boost. Your telepathy will become stronger. All of these things, all of these capabilities will become stronger in you. And these are the conversations you need to be having. You need to get in tune with what this society feels is higher intelligence or so-called technology. Get a feel for it and then think beyond it. That's the key. Getting the so-called black man and black woman to focus on something higher is hard as hell. It's hard. Because one minute they try to get focused, next minute, their intelligence drops to something stupid again. Trying to raise the frequency and keep it high and keep it higher and keep it going, only to have it drop, is hard amongst the black race. It's only going to be a chosen few that's going to eat, sleep, and breathe these higher messages. These solar messages are coming through. The people are in tune. They know what I'm talking about. The people are not. They're not going to get it. They're not going to get it. This might be the least popular show, a broadcast that we do. As we start getting into the solar intelligence and into the solar knowledge and the light message reading that's coming through from the future, that's being utilized by our ascendants and being sent into the present state, a lot of the people are not going to get that. It'll be people in the so-called white mentalist community. They'll listen to broadcasts like this because a lot of them are beyond the whole racial thing. They got off their whole white thing. They ahead of y'all. Y'all still playing the game. Y'all still playing the racial thing. When you try to raise the frequency on the people and whatnot, and you bring them things for the future evolution of the people, the majority of the people are not going to accept it. That's okay. It's not for the majority of the people. That's what happens when you go through an evolution. That's what happens. The majority of the people are not going to make it. The majority of the people are not going to be able to support this system that's going through, this communication that's going through. They're not going to get it. A big sign of the people who are not going to be able to support this message or this high frequency are the people that hate the color blue. Why do I say that? Because blue, as I said before, is the fastest moving color in the spectrum because it's a universal color. Blue is thought of very highly in society for a reason, because it is a place where solar intelligence fosters and builds up. The light builds and spreads and constantly continues, where that light energy or that higher intelligence keeps moving into the future through the blue state, through the universe. So that's not going to be thought highly of by those people who are connected to colors like brown and black and colors that are earth tone colors. The people who are connected to those earth tone colors are people who are connected to this planet, who are connected to the present and the past. They're not connected to the future. They're not connected to the idea or the knowledge that this place is going through an evolution and the people are going through an evolution. You're going to see a lot of people starting to lose their minds as we're going through this evolution. This evolution is going to take place regardless. Whether whoever don't like it or not, it's going to take place. Blue played a big part in the ceremonies in the ancient Kemet and the Nubians and things like that. Blue was a highly thought of color, and it's also in this society. Blue is where intelligence fosters that solar energy. Those readers of that solar intelligence will tune in. And as people who are moving through that blue state or that blue state of nothingness to receive higher intelligence, that blank space where there's blue, constant and continuous blue space for light to move continuously forward, i.e. higher intelligence, messages, encoded messages moving forward constantly. And we are receiving what we're supposed to be receiving in this present state to move this planet forward. The majority of the people are not going to get it. That's why when you saw the people over on one side and in the east, your Egyptians and all these other people, they were building big structures and things like that, and receiving this intelligence from on high and building these structures. You had people in Africa doing nothing. That was your separation of the black and bright race right there. Early on. Those people who were able to read those messages in the solar, that solar light that was coming here. They were able to build certain things. They were able to build certain things that looked like radios and put antennas there because they were receiving light message frequency. They were receiving encoded messages. That's what the whole thing with the Ark of the Covenant and all. They kept talking about radios. Reception. Everything was reception. What were they receiving? There were no television stations or anything back then. What were they picking up? All they had up there on those horns and things they wore on their head, which was antennas. They were really actually like antennas. They were picking up solar energy waves. They were reading light messages. They were tuning in. The priests and all these people they called priests back then, they were tuning in. That's what your television is based on. Your television and your remote viewing is based on that. On these beings or these people of the past who were receiving light messages from the sun, encoded messages that were being sent through that frequency. The same way they pass your television and radio waves through these frequencies here on this planet. Through these frequencies that they send through the air, through the atmosphere, these radio waves. All same concept. Just to break it down for you. What do you think it means if you have pain in the area where the solar plex is? Well, it could mean a lot of things. It can mean indigestion. It can mean improper diet. It can mean a lot of things. Probably indigestion. Probably too much acidic food. It can mean a lot of things. You know? That alkaline diet is important. You know, the alkaline diet is important. Our diet is important in being receivers. You know, our diet is important in being receivers. You had a lot of receivers from the last millennium, people who were picking up that solar energy. Solar energy is real. Even though I might be describing things and I'm trying my best to describe what's coming through to me, in this knowledge of intellect and these solar messages, they'll be described better as we're moving forward. A whole solar system being set up to transmit television waves, radio waves, all that's coming because the solar energy will take over as the main source of energy on this planet. They have no other choice. They have to channel that energy somewhere because as it's coming here, it's going to short out a lot of the energy they have here right now. It's going to short out the satellites. They talked about that already, shorting out the electrical system because the electrical system right now runs on water. Like your Niagara Falls, all the electrical system and everything runs on water. So now, and you got your fossil fuel, all your energy, the highest form of energy is your solar energy. And it will dominate this planet. And once it dominates this planet, light frequency and light messages, higher intelligence will come to this planet. And certain people will receive it. Certain people will not. This is a reality. As I said, to people who are caught on a certain level, who's been filled up already on certain levels of intelligence, they're not going to get this. It's going to sound crazy to them. Oh, what's this? It sounds like something esoteric. How is it esoteric when you have people setting up solar systems here to pull in solar energy here? If you all forms of energy, all forms of light energy have encoded messages on it. All of it. Some primitive, some more advanced. The solar energy will always carry advanced messages because it's light frequency that's being sent in a direction from someplace else, which is the future state. The future state does exist. We'll be right back. The solar energy has a message. It's carrying a message, and it's carrying a message of destruction on it. It will destroy everything on this planet. Why? Because it is bringing higher intelligence to replace that which is on this planet. What do I mean by that? When the white man said that, this solar shower, these things are coming to, and they'll short out the satellites in space, and they'll burn out the whole electrical systems on this planet and things like that, and it's all even going to kill a lot of people here. The radiation. That's meant to happen. That's meant to happen. That's an evolution. Now, that might sound terrible, but it's life. It's reality. Certain people who are vibrating on a certain mental level are going to be killed by this solar intelligence, by these solar waves that are coming here. Because it's supposed to be received on a higher level. The messages are supposed to be transmitted and picked up by people who have raised in their mental vibration. A lot of your black race is going to die because they have not raised in their mental vibration. A lot of your human race is going to die. The white man, he already calls the sun the enemy. He said he pointed. I was watching a TV show the other day. He said that's going to kill you. That's killing us. Pointing to the sun, because the sun is always transmitting messages. It is always correcting that which is wrong. It is being used as a transmitter, not just as something that's regulating the planet and the seasons and things like that. It's being used as a transmitter. It's sending light messages. The white man is trying to harness the energy off of the sun for a reason. It's because he's trying to steer it in different directions, because the sun is going to take the planet regardless. There's nothing they can do about it. So whenever you people sit up here and talk about the white man's technology and whatnot, all his technology came through solar knowledge. You understand? Just as our technology came through there, from the future beings, from the almond beings. That's real. The future race, to speed us along, to move us in our evolution. Man does not bring technology. Technology comes through man, because all technology is future knowledge. What man brings is his own philosophy, his own limited perception, his own shortcomings. That's what mankind and womankind bring, even your black race. You people are still sitting up here talking about Africa and what's going on in the present. Y'all finished. Y'all not going to be able to receive this message or receive these light messages in the future, because you still focused on the present. Your present is coming to an end. Just as the past is ended, your present is ending, and we're constantly moving into the future. That's nature. That's natural. You're supposed to be thinking beyond these things that you're doing, but you're still doing the same thing. You're still talking about the same things. You're not advancing in your way of thinking. You're not thinking about the next level or the next generation. You're not opening yourself up to receive this higher intelligence. You're not. The majority of our people are not going to get it. The majority of our people are going to run and hide in the shadows, just like the white man and the rest of the humans. You see black people going to be walking around with umbrellas over their head trying to block the sun out. I've seen it already. You understand? That radiation, just as the radiation and all that talk about in the TV and stuff like that, that radiation that you blocking out is meant to come here and kill off certain people. People who can't transmit it back, who can't transform it within themselves. All light frequency, all solar frequency, you're supposed to be able to take in. That's why you were designed in a carbon shell, to take in solar energy, to take in these messages. We live in climates of 115 and better, and what's now considered to be the desert. We didn't know any skin cancer and things like that, because we were able to receive and take in these messages. We were able to receive that light. Now you niggas passing out. Now you just like the white man. I said the black man is no different than the white man and the rest of the humans. Y'all no different. Your concerns it is. Y'all still talking about things that are going on in the present. You still thinking about the present. You still thinking about your trivial perversions and your religious beliefs in Africa and what happened in the hood. Who cares? It's not going to matter in a minute. These messages are coming stronger because the planet is due for a makeover. It's due for an evolution. Just as the dinosaurs had to go off the planet, just as those solar showers sent meteorites here, those almond beings sent here, them to kill off the dinosaurs because they were no longer necessary, this is being activated in that solar frequency that's coming here and killing off people, killing off your humans. Every time you turn around, your white man and all them, they turn up with cancer here, melanoma here and whatnot. They dying in droves. They'll tell you a lot, but they're not going to tell you, especially in California, forget it. They dying in droves. Your blacks are going to start passing out from heat strokes as it gets hotter on this planet, as those messages come. Because, like I said, that solar energy is sending up. It's killing off people on the planet, and it's bringing on a higher intelligence. Certain mental messages will kill you if you are not in tune to receive it. It's like being in shape and running a marathon and being in shape to work out. If you're not in shape mentally to receive these higher forms of intelligence that's coming through, receiving those light messages, that solar message, then you're going to die out. You serve no purpose. It's literally like that terminology, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. But a lot of our people ain't going to be able to stand the heat. A lot of them are bugging out right now. A lot of them are losing their minds. A lot of the stuff you see our people doing, stuff they doing like the white man, the rest of the human race, a lot of the bugged out stuff that we didn't used to do, a lot of the stuff we engaging in right now, that's a sign of that heat and that solar energy that's coming. It's driving them crazy. You understand that? It's driving them crazy. It's sending our people off. It's causing a separation in the black race. All of this is taking place because we're supposed to be receiving that light energy right now. Like I said, to a lot of people, that sounds crazy and whatnot, but like I said, you can't deny what they're doing. Black people will always be at the end, or as the end result will be the end result of what's going on in technology, when it was a time we was at the forefront of it. The key to being at the forefront of technology is receiving that solar energy, that solar light, to tune in to that higher frequency that's coming through that solar complex, or that solar picking up that solar intelligence. As I said, your human race, they pick it up in bits and pieces through their artificial system, which is your chakra points. Humans have chakra points. Almond beings, the so-called black race, we don't have chakra points. We have a solar system, a full operating natural solar system. I'm gonna go into that in one of these, and I'm gonna break all that down in one of the podcasts. But it was necessary to bring that out because it's necessary to understand that you're not like the humans. You're not going to receive these light messages like them because they're going to receive it in bits and pieces. If a diamond is the best receptor or the best drill bit or whatever, something artificial wouldn't be as good. Same thing with you as a natural receiver, one who has a solar plex. You have the same sun sitting in you that's sitting out in the universe. You have the same sun that's sitting in the chest. That was done so that you would be a receiver. That was done so that you would be a receiver. That was done purposely in you so that you can pick up these messages. Not just to give you animation. Because, like I said, the animation that the humans have and the animals have is the same form of animation, i.e. their solar plex. The humans and the animals are linked. You are not linked to any one of them. That's why they have thoughts of reincarnation. When they come back, they say, I'm going to come back as an animal because they're linked to the animal kingdom. You're linked to solar intelligence. You're linked to a future state, a continuous state of mental evolution. Men beings are men beings. The word men meaning continuous evolution, continuous mental capability, continuous passing of intelligence to these atmospheres that you set up. Senders and receivers. I said that's what this thing is about, senders and receivers. When you break it down to the common denominator of what it's about, you are a receiver. You're supposed to be a mentalist, one who is receiving higher intelligence when you break it down. You're supposed to receive that. The light operates as a messaging system. That's what the solar energy operates as. You are able to pass messages mentally because of solar intelligence. You understand that? You're able to send messages to one another through solar intelligence. If that sun was not shining in the sky, then you would not have any, or you would not possess any of your mental capabilities. It would shut down. All right? This is your operating system. This is your phone system. This is your communication system. The sun is supposed to operate as that, in unison with your solar plex. But like I said, our people are so busy, caught off into other things, that they can't see that. They can't see that. They can't connect to that. They can't pick that up. It's only going to be those high-functioning beings who possess that solar intelligence that are going to be able to pick that up. Majority of our people are still stuck in present things. You understand? They're still stuck. Their mind is still stuck in past things. They still got all kinds of trauma and things like that. Things they can't get over. Their minds are stuck. So they're not going to get this. It's only going to be for a chosen few. But what they do know is that the end is near. They know it. They know that the end is near. Because once a person comes who is bringing future intelligence, that means the end of their world and the beginning of a new world. With that which they fear, and I said this before, I said that the black race fears more a new beginning than the end. They fear a new beginning because they won't fit into it. They're not trying to gear themselves up to fit into it because their memory card has been filled up. They've already acknowledged that which they're willing to acknowledge. The only way to clear yourself off and be able to receive that solar intelligence is to empty out your old ways of thinking. Clean your slate. Become blank. But the black race, the majority of them are not willing to do that. Give up your preconceived notions. What do they say in this society? The smartest man or the smartest woman is the one who admits that they know nothing at all. What did that really mean? That meant that you possess no true intelligence on your own. You understand? Everything is received. You have the standard equipment, i.e. your solar plex and your and a working brain to receive it, but the technology, the logic and things like that are things that are coming through you. You're just a receiver. The white man is just a receiver. Everything that he brought here or everything that came through him was just that. I don't give a goddamn if it's Facebook, a computer, whatever it be. It all came through him, not from him. You understand that? It all came from him. Through him, not from him. And you'll have knowledge that was supposed to come through you. See, as long as you think knowledge comes from them or technology and future thought comes from them, it will never come through you because you think it's impossible. You already operate as a reactionary person. They receive or they conjure up things in their mind because in their mind you think they're intelligent, they're smart. And they're just good mimics. They're good vampires. They're good people to siphon off the intelligence that was supposed to be coming to you. They're siphoning it off. Like I said, they're satellites. They're communication systems. Everything is set up to read frequency. They're doing nothing but what the Egyptians did when the Egyptians were setting up arcs and radios and those boxes with antennas on them. They're doing that. That's what their satellites are today. It's the same goddamn thing. It's the same thing. Picking up light reception, picking up solar intelligence, solar frequency. That's all they doing. They zapping and picking up solar frequency. That's it. The solar intelligence, the knowledge, the future knowledge comes so strong through the goddamn planet. It's so thick. If you're tuned in, you can't help but to pick it up. You understand that? You can't help but to pick it up. They call them people that tune into it, they call them geniuses because they say everybody can't tune into it. Reason why is because they keep you vibrating on a low mental frequency. They educate you in the society to block it because they don't want to deal with people who can pick up that frequency. They want to pick up the chosen people who can pick it up, the people who have tuned in, who tune out everything. That's why if you notice, the outcasts are the people who tend to pick up the frequency. The people who are not trying to party and shake their ass and be part of this BS. And that right there, like I said, that tell you right there the black race ain't going to get it. Y'all was supposed to been got it, but y'all ain't going to get it because y'all ain't no different than the white man. Y'all want to be down. Your concerns and everything is the same. That's why y'all not going to advance mentally because you don't want to be the outcast. You want to be down. Notice they stirred that thing in you purposely within the civil rights movement to want to be accepted in this society, to be down. See, because when you were outcast, when you knew you were outcast, you did more. You built more. Your intelligence was kicking in. So what did they do when you were being outcast in the society? What did they do? They wanted to bring you in. And what did that do? That killed your intelligence because now you started to depend on them because now you wanted to be down. You got finally what you wanted, integration. But when you were the outcast, your intelligence was kicking in. You had no choice but to depend on you. You started tuning in. Same thing when you were in Egypt. You had only you and your intelligence. It wasn't no white-black dynamic there. It was just you. So we trying to get toward that again. That's why I'm talking about the bright race and taking my people out of the goddamn black mentality and that black identity, that African thing. Because you as black people exist as the opposite of the white race. And every time you hear that word black, you're going to think white. And once you go back into that black and white thing and that identity that came from them, you're going to think, oh, well, I can't think on my own because, what did the white man think? This, me listening to this brother, this might sound funny and, and what would the white man think? Or how you niggas do when somebody's talking about something and the white man hear it, y'all go, oh, shh. Y'all systematically like, oh, shh, oh, because you're still worrying about them. They're an afterthought. They're supposed to be an afterthought. You're not even supposed to think about the white man in them anymore or the humans. That's why I brought my people out of this whole black thing into the bright thing, but to the simple-minded nigga, they think, oh, you don't want to be black no more, you ain't down. No, I don't want to be down. I don't want to be down. I want that solar intelligence. I want the real power. Not no fake goddamn power of some black president. They doing all that. You know why they doing all that? Just to get you distracted again. Because this is the time when you niggas are supposed to be tuning in. Tuning into this solar intelligence. This is the time. Right now. But y'all not going to do it because you got your black president, you got the goddamn NBA playoffs, the football game, you got some nigga in your face. Our people all over the place being distracted. With all this stupid, you got some stupid nigga rap music. You understand? This is the time you're supposed to be tuning in. The frequency is strong now. But y'all so busy wanting to tune in and be part of society, you worrying about what's going on with the black and the black cause and what's going on with black people and somebody getting shot and stuff. Who cares? That was meant to happen. This is an evolution taking place. And an evolution that's taking place, like I said, there's going to be casualties. There's going to be collateral damage. A lot of the black race going to go. Get used to seeing the black race die. Don't get hung up by one kid dying. Hell, it's going to be a whole lot of black people that's going. A lot of white people going. A lot of everybody's going on for this goddamn thing. Because the evolution is coming in. That solar intelligence is coming in and is killing everything around it. And only the people that are going to be able to receive that light, they're going to be the stronger ones. Yes, this is about survival of the fittest. Those who are mentally fit to receive this higher intelligence and those who are going to be physically fit. And those who are going to be able to live into the future to breed a new generation. That's what you so-called black women who in tune with this message should be thinking about. Getting your wombs ready. Get your goddamn wombs ready. Stop taking these niggas inside you. These black niggas or these white men or whoever you taking, the rest of the humans, and get ready to take in that bright man and become that bright woman to bring that new progeny onto the planet. That's what you're supposed to be doing. I'm not concerned about the black race. They no different than the white race. They no different than the humans. They like mankind now. They the black version of mankind. I'm focused on true power, solar power. That power is beyond mankind. It's beyond anything on this planet. That's what you should be focused. That's what I'm focusing on. That's what we were focused on until we broke our focus. When we were in Egypt and Nubia and things like they call us sun worshippers. Now that's the white man's way. Y'all were sun worshippers. What did that really mean? We wasn't worshiping. We was tuning in. That's what that means. Attune. We was attuning ourselves with the solar knowledge that was coming in. Things that were going to bring out our innate capabilities, our telepathy, our levitational lift, our passing out of solar waves through our eyes and out of our mouths. You understand that? Becoming that light being. All that whole story of Superman was based on us. Those Krypton, that's based on the future race, the almond beings. That's us. They know that. I told you. What they say in the Superman story, the Superman pulled in the sun. He drew his energy from the sun. What white man you know draws some energy from the sun? They talking about you. They talking about us, the future race, the bright race, the solar beings. Aren't we the only ones on the planet who have souls, full operating solar systems within our goddamn chest? Yes. Yes. That's us. We are not black people. We are not black people. I'm going to say it again. We are not black people. But for those of you who want to exist as the opposite end of the white man, you stay black. Be black. You understand that? Solar intelligence is telling us that we are almond beings. That's what that solar intelligence that's coming through me is telling. Because mental intellect is solar knowledge. It is eternal light knowledge. Even beyond the sun. It's light knowledge. It's bright knowledge. And light knowledge or bright knowledge is only for the chosen, for the elect. Meaning that it's not supposed to be for everybody. You understand that? Certain ones of our people are going to burn the hell up like the rest of the humans. You understand? That's the evolution. Why were certain dinosaurs allowed to stay and certain ones had to go off the planet? Majority of the people serve no purpose. Purpose. That's what you should be looking into the future as. Purposeful beings. How can you harness the light? How can you breed a stronger progeny? That should be your only concern. Breeding a stronger progeny and speeding up the intelligence. That's how we're going to win this thing. That's how we're going to move on. Not by some goddamn voting. Not by some politics and some BS. Or sitting around doing some rallies because somebody got killed or whatever. Who cares? A lot of people are going to die. So that a chosen few could live and breed another race. Those solar intelligent beings, those mentalians. These are terminologies from the future. These are not things I'm making up. These are not things I'm making up. These are not terminologies I'm making up. These are terminologies that exist in the future because we are coming into the future. Everyone is supposed to exist as a signpost to bring something new in. You understand that? Instruments of bringing new things in. Those who have the technology will have the true power. Not some stupid nigga talking about, you revolutionary niggas. Yeah, well, we going to get the guns. And you niggas ain't going to do nothing, man. Those who control the technology and are in tune with the technology are going to lead the planet. That's why the white man's in control. You understand? He just used the guns for you little niggas. And the rest is to keep the crowd in control, like the sheep that you are. But he controls through technology. He said something that you did at one time. The smartest people are the ones that are going to rule the planet. The ones who possess that solar intelligence. The meek shall inherit the earth, but they will carry that solar power and that solar energy. That's supposed to be the bright race. you should be making sure that you strengthen this intelligence. You should be trying to make sure this knowledge spreads amongst the bright race. As I said, you're supposed to be finding your kind. You really want this thing to kick over? You want to see an end to this so-called enslavement or whatever, this thing we've been going through on this planet? Because everything we've been going through is based on what we've done or what we have not done. Because you still expect to be respected as a member of the human race when you're supposed to be accepting yourself as an outcast. You shouldn't want to be part of the human race. You're not a part of it, but you shouldn't really want to be a part of it. Everything you did, everything that happened to you is because you want an end. Everything that will continue to happen to you in this society is because you want end. You understand that? These niggas that's going around dropping like flies and getting killed off by the white man or whatever, or just get all this death that's going on around, that's for people who are in this mental frequency, that's serving in this submental state. These people are still tuned into this. But those people who carry that solar knowledge, these people who are tuning into the higher frequency, that future knowledge, they will live because they serve a purpose. You understand that? This is what you're supposed to be doing. Are people who are in tune. You shouldn't be concerned about the things that are going on here now. Don't worry about what's going on here. Don't worry about who getting shot down by the white man. Or don't worry about who what's going on in this society. Like everything they're doing and showing you and putting in the news is meant to be distraction for the solar beings so that we're not tuning in. You understand? They not, like I said, they manufacture this junk just to keep you tuned in. They manufacture it. They manufacture this junk to get you tuned in. They want you tuned in. And like I said, when the black people turn on this broadcast, like I said, it's hard for them to keep, because I'm not talking about Egypt and Africa, or I'm not talking about the diaspora or some bull. You understand? And they don't want to hear that. It's too much for them. This is frying the niggas' brains. This frying their brains. If I was talking about black power, like I said, you got the educated ones. They can't pick this frequency up. If you heard one of my broadcasts before where you had certain educated Negroes, you could turn, they called in, the guys doing a radio show, and they was like, I just don't, I never heard this before. I don't get it. And they got off the phone. Those are educated Negroes. They're not going to get it, because they made their mind up to accept the intelligence of the white man, or the so-called limited education, i.e., which they think is intelligence. They accepted the educated way of thinking of the white man. They accepted his training on how to think. So their memory cards is filled up. They're not willing to go blank. It's an ego thing. The conscious, they have already accepted Africa, the white man's the devil, KKK, they Africans, and all this other stuff. No matter how much you tell them that the Romans were the first ones to call our people Africans, they're not going to get it. They won't argue it, but they're going to still call themselves Africans because their memory card is filled up with that. That's it for them. That's the past and that's the present. Now the future ones, the intelligent ones, are going to tune into this message. You understand? That's where you're going to see the black race start to fall off. That's where you're going to see the dividing. Trust me, I done seen it already in a lot of the sisters I was talking to. I done seen it in my personal life. A lot of the sisters I was talking to, they couldn't tune in on this frequency, so they just mysteriously ended our connection. But I was like, it's all good, because I already understood what it was about. I knew what it was even before they did. I was talking on something higher, something more out of that realm of their present and past state of thinking. I was talking about the future, and these women don't exist in the future. A new woman is being prepared. Are you that new woman? Are you that new man? If you are, then you're supposed to be speeding up this frequency. You should want to see an end to this madness. You should want to separate yourself. You should want to be the outcast. You should want to. You are naturally supposed to be the outcast. You are supposed to be the next level, the next realm, but y'all still operating as black people. You going, yeah, I get it, brother, I get it. Yeah, no, you don't, because you still doing what they do. Your concerns are still their concerns. You're supposed to be speeding up the frequency. You're supposed to be gathering your people, listening to this message, finding our people. Our people are out there lost. Everybody should be coming together in this day and time who are of the bright race, who are feeling this message, who consider themselves to be mentalians, receivers of this higher intelligence that's coming through this solar knowledge or this light frequency that's coming from our ascension, our future race. You understand? As we're receiving this knowledge in the present state, you're supposed to be gathering the people. But the majority of the people, like I said, I'm getting is people that's from other radio broadcasts. They like, I want to hear what this guy is saying. He sounds crazy. You know, I don't get what this guy. Who is this black guy? What is he talking about? It's supposed to sound crazy to you. It's supposed to sound crazy to the black race. You understand? It's supposed to. But to the people who are younger, the people who have a youthful mind, who have went blank, who got tired of the black thing and seen and really seen beyond that, the people who didn't fall for this whole black crap, like a lot of you niggas fell for that in the conscious and in the educated niggas, y'all fell for this black and white crap. You understand? You ain't see that it was a distraction. You still falling for it. You still interacting with these niggas. You understand? Instead of trying to find your people. Because once you find your people, your life will get better. Once you find the people who thinking on this level, your life will change and alter. A lot of our people are afraid to change because they say, oh, well, damn, it ain't a lot of us out there. You know, a lot of people ain't thinking like this. I don't know. You know, I don't know if I should. The hell with that. That's a good thing. It tells you, like I said, I go back to that book of Revelations for a second. I say, you know what? When it tells you that it's going to be the elect or the chosen few, it was telling you that it would come down to this. But the chosen few will be the most powerful ones. Not the masses. The masses, like I said, they don't mean a damn thing. The chosen few will bring about a new nation, a new future, a new generation. You understand that? The chosen few, the smallest things, the greatest things start from the smallest have small beginnings. The greatest things have small beginnings. I said on my Facebook page, I said Elijah Muhammad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, was the first bright man of the last millennium. Now, a lot of people didn't understand what I said by that, what I meant by that. I said that though he started off, and people said, oh, well, it was Garvey, and it was, they said Garvey, and they said, what else they said? They said Garvey and Noble Drew Ali. I said, no, but nobody did it on the level he did it on. If you in tune, you see that, you know, he stopped wearing the fez and stuff like that. He was going through an evolution. He was bringing in the first stages of that bright knowledge. He wasn't really teaching Islam. He was teaching a higher knowledge. But a lot of people didn't get that. They thought it was Islam. They thought it was Masonry. It was beyond that. He was opening up a door. And just from that little movement there, it touched over 4 million people. Even though some of them ran into Islam and all kind of stupidity, and they thought it was religion, they couldn't pick it up as anything beyond that. But the ones who tuned in, who were on a higher frequency, they know exactly what that man was doing, what he was opening up. The can of worms that he was opening up. He opened up that door. The ones of our people who were able to see it. The ones of our people who weren't able to see it, like I said, they went into religion. They went into these things. Like I said, this is not a black message. This is not a black message. This is not for black power. You understand? This is not for African power. This ain't, like I said, that's why so-called Africans, it was the Drop Squad, whatever they are. They used to like broadcast my show and let people know about about these broadcasts. They stopped doing it. Because I wasn't bigging up Africa and that whole black African red, black, and green crap. I wasn't doing that. There's no power in that. You understand? That's a straw boss. That's the straw horse. That's something the white man created to give you niggas an identity, and you ate it up. He took your mind off of the real power, the solar power, the energy in which messages are being passed to you. You understand? There was a reason why you were structured the way you were. Black women with your hair growing up in the air, black men, so-called black men, black women, bright women, the way you're shaped. All that was done purposely. You understand that? All this was done purposely to separate you. Your hair looking the way it is. Everything was done. Your manifestation on this planet was put here. Your manifestation on this planet was done to separate you. But what do you want to do? Y'all want to be with the humans. You want to have the same concerns as them. You ended up becoming the black version of the humans. And they keep telling you you're not part of them. They keep showing you that you're an outcast, and you niggas still want to be part. You still don't want to receive your true knowledge. You don't want to receive your solar identity. You don't want to be the bright race. You want to be the black race. You want to be part of Africa and all this other nonsense. You don't want to receive this solar intelligence. I heard somebody tried to, after everything I done said, I said, we're not doing Egypt no more. We're moving on as the Mentalian race, a new knowledge, new thing. You still got people still hanging ankhs around their neck. They still talking about ankhs, sex symbols. You still talking about Africa and Egypt and all this other stuff. I only mentioned Egypt in passing just to show you where we were supposed to be going before we were interrupted. We were supposed to be going beyond that. We were supposed to be reading the signs in the light, the messages, things that would bring out our mental capabilities, our solar capabilities. You understand? As true God beings over the human race. They're masters. But y'all don't want that. You want to be down. You don't want to read the messages. The signs are coming through clearer and clearer. And for you niggas who got a problem with that, you understand? Like I said, death to you. Death to you. Because you'll see the majority of the people that's going to have a problem with it is niggas. They're going to have a problem with this message. Because they go, oh, well, why can't everybody come? Why can't everybody be down? Like I said, the majority of the black people, like I said, y'all ain't no different than the white man. Y'all perverts. Y'all degenerates just like the rest of the human race. I ain't going to just say even the white man, because some of them not okay. But the majority of y'all, y'all just like them. Y'all still concerned with the same things. Y'all still talking about the same day-to-day things. You're not thinking about the future. You're not focused in on the future. You're not reading the signs in the light. Especially you people that are in hot places. Especially where the sun is really blazing down on you. Y'all really supposed to be picking it up. In Florida and Texas and things like, y'all supposed to really be picking up these frequencies. There's a reason why y'all picking up and y'all listening to these messages. Y'all picking up my radio broadcast. The majority of people ain't going to pick up my radio broadcast. They ain't going to listen to this. Because I ain't talking about Africa and Egypt and whatnot. And I really don't want them to listen. You understand? I'm holding the door open for the people that go walking out my life. I'm holding the door open for you. Because I know it's going to be the bright ones that are going to walk in. I hold the door open for the black people to walk out my life so that the bright ones can come in. You understand? I hold the door open for you. Because you have no real purpose. You serve no real purpose in this time of evolution. They're going to turn right on you. The ones who, the educated ones, I said educated equals past, conscious equals present, and intelligence equals future. That's the third door. How many of you are of the intelligent? How many are you ready to receive this light intelligence? Because as I get deeper with this, I'm trying to stay in a medium where I'm introducing the knowledge of intellect and this high frequency knowledge of this light knowledge that's being passed through our ascension, through our children. You understand? I operate as a receiver. That's it. I operate as a receiver. The whole television system, the whole telephone system, telephone, television, mental. It's all based on us. Reception, receiving. Where do you think they got that from? You understand? The white man didn't just come up with this out of nowhere, but to you simple-minded niggas, you believe that he that smart. You believe that. You believe he just came out of the cage picking fleas off his ass, and now all of a sudden he got all the technology. You were supposed to be the ones bringing that through. But like I said, you fell into the white-black dynamic. You understand? You fell into it. Somebody had to bring it here. They were chosen because, like I said, they were chosen to bring it here because y'all wasn't in a state to bring in this higher intelligence. A lot of y'all still ain't in this state. We trying to raise the frequency and the vibration now. You understand? Elijah Muhammad tried to raise it. Dr. York tried to raise it. I'm trying to raise it to get y'all out of this whole black thing. This was a way of walking our people out of it. You understand? But a lot of these niggas want to keep pushing y'all back into the black, red, and green. You didn't get the message when Elijah put the sun, moon, and star up there? Light. You didn't get the message when Dr. York put the sun, and star, and the crescent and all that stuff? Light. You didn't get it when I put the current symbol up there in space as eternal or continuous light? You still didn't get it? You still didn't get it? No, you niggas want black, red, and green and the ankh. You want to be Africa. You understand? And that message is supported by the white man to keep you stationary here on earth, keep your ways of thinking down, keep you grounded. Check, you hear that word? Keep you grounded. You understand? Keep you as the foundation, keep you under. What they call you when they say y'all primitive. When the white man call you primitive, he means, yeah, you the first people, meaning you're the first foundation, which means that he's going to build on top of you. Damn it, y'all don't see this? They want to keep you in the Africa thing. They want to keep you in this BS. They don't want you tuning into this frequency knowledge. It's like the white man knows it's the truth. He know what I'm saying is the truth, because believe me, the majority of the people that's listening in on this right now are your agencies and things like that, because they're the ones that's tapping into that solar knowledge. They tapping into that solar frequency. That's why their satellites are out there. They know that your ascension is sending messages back. They figured out how to maneuver the solar energy of the sun, maneuver the light and the solar energy of the sun to send messages through it. They figured out how to do that. Our children already figured it out. You understand that? We started thinking on that when Elijah Muhammad, y'all didn't even understand, when they was using masonry to talk about degrees and heating up degrees, because like I said, knowledge moves in degrees in Freemasonry, and when they were saying knowledge moves in higher degrees in Freemasonry, they were talking about the light becoming brighter, your intelligence moving up. They utilize it as degrees. You understand? They got that from us. So the light was becoming stronger. But now the light messages are going to come in dimensions now. We are introducing 121 dimensions. We moved away from that whole 120 degrees of knowledge, because that moves in a circle. We, in the state of Mentel, introducing 121 dimensions. Mentellect, new knowledge, 121 dimensions. You understand that? High frequency knowledge. The one is the continuous state that will not repeat. That's what's being introduced in this. Y'all supposed to be, as people who are listening to the teller, because I said I'm not a teacher, I'm a teller. As I am telling you factually what's going to happen, what's going to take place, y'all supposed to be garnering all the reception you can. Help me build this goddamn radio. Find my people. Find our people. Find your people. Find the bright race. Don't sit up here and be well wishers and listen to me. Oh, yeah, brother, that's right, that's deep. No, I don't need that. I don't need your support. We ain't no welfare system. We paid for this message. I put it out of my pocket. Help us build this goddamn radio. You want to see things change? Pull the receivers together. Then you will see the change. Help us bring this solar energy or this solar wave closer to the planet. Let's end this goddamn madness and open up the door to the new beginning. You understand? Get the hell away from these niggas and their low frequency conversations. Their concerns about the past and the present. I don't care if these conscious niggas, I don't care about these educated niggas, these people in your past, because they're going to try to lower the vibration. They're going to try to block out that solar frequency. They're going to try to block it out. Black means blocked. Black means in darkness. Those who will not receive the light. They already telling you they expect the intelligence to come from the white man. The nigga that say that, that's the ones that's going to block you from receiving higher intelligence. The nigga that say things like, oh, that's the white man's technology, or, we using the white man's technology, that's the nigga that expects intelligence to come from the white man. Get the hell away from him. Get away from him. That's the conscious niggas to say that. That's your educated niggas who think that way. They already made up their mind that they're not going to receive any intelligence coming through them or from coming through a black man or so-called black man. They already made their mind up. They already made their mind up. You're supposed to be picking up these messages. The only way to pick them up stronger is to gather the receptors, the receivers. You understand that? That's the only way to pick it up. That's the only way it's going to resonate stronger. We've been trying to pick this light up for thousands of years when we was calling ourselves Israelites. The Israelites were the remnant. They were really the remnant of the ancient Kemites. You understand? After the kingdoms and the things fell down and whatnot, they took some of the knowledge that was left, the sacred knowledge, the secret knowledge of the triangle and the pyramids and things like that, and they continued it into the future. And they tried to form a tribe out of that and a covenant out of that, and they took that knowledge from there, and they tried to move on as Israelites. You understand? But they took on too many of the ways, and they tried to keep a law and try to distance themselves from people. They was trying to do it. But like I said, y'all fell back into the black thing again. You fell back to earth again. You fell back into this time frequency. You understand? Of past and present. You started worrying about the past and present. You want to know why all those old black societies fell? Simple. Because they fell into the time frequency space. They started trying to be like the white man. They started trying to model their structures after the white man. You understand that? They fell into past and present. They wasn't focused on the future. Because if they would have been focused on the future, they would have saw all this stuff coming. You would have outthought whoever was trying to go up against you. You would have outthought them too fast. But this is what happens to you when you are trying to be in, when you want in, when you're trying to vibrate on the same frequency from the past and the present as these people. When you niggas are still talking about Africa and Egypt and all this other stuff that done happened and gone when y'all supposed to be going into a stage of evolution right now, this is what y'all focused on. Y'all, majority of y'all not going to get it. That's the reality of it. I was telling the sister that today. I said the majority of the people are not going to get it. I don't care. All this black well-wishing and stuff like that. The majority of the people are not going to get it. Y'all still talking about these people from the conscious thing. Y'all still talking these people. Like I said, when these people are talking, you understand, when they presenting facts to you, so-called facts to you about what happened in the past or what's going on today, what's the point? What's the point? What's the point in them doing it? Just so we can know. Okay, now you know. Now what? Now what? What's the solution after that? You understand? We just know now, brother. You know, just so we can be conscious, so we know. No. What do we do next? Now that all this stuff is going on, what do we do next? What's the plan? Oh well, brother. You know, we conscious. We know. No. It's supposed to proceed. Something's supposed to proceed after that. Things that are going on in the present and went on in the past are supposed to move you toward the future. But y'all not moving toward the future. The majority of the people are not moving toward the future, so a lot of you have to go off the planet. Y'all not making yourself, you're not opening yourself to this future intelligence. You're not. You rejected it. You want the onk. You want the red, black, and green. You want the stupid nigga conversation. You want to talk about Trayvon Martin. You want to worry about what's going on in Africa. You worry about human interest stories. You worry about bull. You understand? You worry about bull. Things that have nothing to do with you. The people who are transmitting this frequency on this light energy that's picking up this message that I'm sending out here, that's coming through me, you should have no concern about none of this stuff that's going on here in the past and the present. You shouldn't be. I'm not concerned about it. And it's not because I choose to turn my back. It's that I am making myself blank to anything that's here in the present and in the past. I'm making myself blank to it so that I can receive future intelligence. I'm making myself blank to it. You understand that? I'm making myself blank. I can't really get into or act like I care about things. I try to, when people tell me about things that's going on in the world, in Africa, or whatever's going on in the black community, I try to act like I care, but I really don't care. I don't care. And it might sound harsh and cruel and cold, but I really don't care what you think. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in the white man and what they do. I'm not interested in nothing they doing. I'm only interested in receiving this solar intelligence. That's it. Because it's moved me along. It's protected me. It's guided me to doing what I'm doing. You will not find your true destiny in this world or where you fit in to this state of mental or the state of mental until you tune in to this solar energy, until you tune in to this body and see where it is that you resonate within this body. We are supposed to be a new tribe coming up, a new family coming up, a new nation, a new state coming up. We are supposed to be that next tribe. We are the 13th tribe, the Mentalians. We are the 13th tribe. 13 represents a new beginning. And you, a new beginning. You understand? A continuous new beginning that we're supposed to be at the forefront of, but y'all still want to be black. Y'all think, because the black race, the majority of them ain't going to be with us. Hell, the black race, you ain't got to worry about the black race in a goddamn minute. Ain't going to be no more niggas. Majority of them going to be gone. Majority of the white men, you ain't going to have to worry about him in a minute. The majority of them going to be gone. The majority of the goddamn Asians, they're going to be gone. They got the plan. The evolution's in place. The plan is in place. I told y'all that. You understand? The plan is in place. Stop linking yourself to the black race. Link yourself to the bright race if you really see this future message and what I'm putting out here. If you don't, then get the hell off of my broadcast. Don't listen to me. Get the hell off my broadcast. I'm only looking for the bright race. I'm going to be brash about it. I'm not trying to protect nobody's feelings or trying to make somebody feel good. Or, damn, brother, how can you be like that? Nigga, don't tell me how I could be. I'm not interested in you niggas and what y'all thinking. You know, you niggas ain't doing nothing for the evolution of our people, but you smoking your weed and wearing your Jordans and talking this black power crap. I had some nigga with this red, black, and green garbage tell me about, brother, Nike is a technical. They dealing with technology. They not dealing with no technology. That's material junk. Y'all niggas so screwed up. You don't even know what technology really is. You don't even know what that is anymore. Technology, true technology, can only come through solar intelligence, future knowledge, tekinu. Technical knowledge is future knowledge, that which will continue in the mind and continue as messages in the mind to improve mental structure, to advance mental structure. That junk he was talking about, because he saw some videos the white man Phil Knight and them paid for to put up about how they designing Nike and things like that, and he think that's a technical thing. I said that's a material thing. That has nothing. He just made a sneaker for a foot. That's it. I said, you think that's technical knowledge? That's not no technical knowledge. That's some junk they put together in a commercial. But like I said, that just shows you the black man don't think on his own. The white man could tell you anything, and you niggas believe it. You don't even think about it because you don't have your logic in place. The logic is not in place in you. You're not receiving that higher intelligence, because if you was, then you could discern which is BS and which is real. I said anything I say in the knowledge of mentellect will resonate with my people, because it's always going to be based in logic. Because logic is mentellect, and real knowledge is mentellect. Real logic is mentellect, and it's always going to come through solar intelligence. Logic will always be there. Even if you don't readily understand or have an ultra-standing of it, it will always still be based in logic. It will make sense. But to the people who have no logic, of the so-called black race, who look for their logic and their thinking to come from the white man, in other words, they look for the white man to say whether that's real or it's not based on his information, they're not going to get this. Just got to erase them niggas off the planet. Just erase them. They're dead receivers. They're dead receivers. Sister told me, but brother, they got potential and whatnot. Yeah, but here's the thing, sister. Here's the memo. If you're not gonna use it, you're gonna lose it. I'm tired of hearing about, but we could be gods, brother. We got it in it, nigga. It don't matter what you got in you. If you can't be utilized, nigga. If you can't be used, then you useless, nigga. And that go for anybody. That go for me. I'm not going to sit up here and teach this message and whatnot of mentellect and whatnot, put myself out there and say, yes, I'm teaching new knowledge. Yes, God damn it, I'm teaching new knowledge. I'm not going to put myself out there to be made an ass of. I stand on this, and ain't nobody came against this yet. Nobody. That's how I know it's real. Even the ones who tried to debate, we took them down. because you can't deal with higher intelligence. You can't go up against future knowledge, your black garbage, or your knowledge from the white man. You can't go up against future intelligence. You can't go up against solar intelligence, because that's the truth, the real truth, the only truth coming through the Amun race. Those ones who are in tune, you know what I'm talking about. They will never be able to verse it. Not the white man, not the black man, not the human. This knowledge is beyond them. You actually have stupid niggas. And I say, yeah, you know what? I'm bringing new knowledge in the knowledge of mental. Like, it's solar knowledge, it's solar intelligence. It's meaning that the intelligence is being utilized and being passed through light messages through the sun. And I said, this is new knowledge. These niggas actually went and, what can I read about this at? Just shows you they're not thinking. What book you got this out of? Then I just tell you it was new knowledge? That just shows you. That proves they're not thinking. That's the black race. That's the black race. They're not going to get it. They're burnt out receivers. They got solar plexus, but they burnt out. They done. They under the black thing. Like I said that thing in the Facebook. I said, the majority of the people, in the black race, they so busy being black that they can't see the light within inside them. They can't connect to their solar plex. They can't connect to this knowledge that's coming through. A sister said, I don't know how they can't feel it. I can feel what you're saying, but I don't know how they don't get it. I said, they're not supposed to. Stop feeling sorry for the black race. They're willfully ignorant. They are willfully ignorant. Because you could tell them something and they don't want it. They don't want this. They want black. They want to be black. They want to be the carbon copy of the white man. You understand? I've seen so many of these niggas in the conscious thing. They doing stuff. They supposed to be so-called conscious, but they ain't really doing nothing no different than the white man. They just the white man in blackface. You conscious niggas who gathering in these little conscious things these little things. Y'all ain't no different than the white man. You educated niggas. Y'all ain't no different than the white man. You ain't nothing but the tan version of him. No, the bright race don't exist as an opposite of anyone. There is no equal to the bright race. If this is the true progeny that you're trying to go into, if you feel it's evolution, then find your people. Receive this knowledge as a collective, as a tribe, as a new group, as a new generation coming up. Decode these messages out, because it's not even going to be hard to decode. You understand? You're supposed to be natural satellites. Natural satellites. Your solar plex is a natural satellite. It's a natural receiver. You understand? That's why it was implanted in you. That manifested within you so that you can receive these messages. That's the point of you being here. But the majority of our people have opted out. See, in this new millennium, this was coming. This is what they were talking about in the Bible when they said the Son of Man was coming. That's what they really meant when they talked about the Amun Ray. I told you that this receiver would come and would turn on the reception of all the other people who would receive this light message or this light intelligence. That's what that sun over their head was about. All of them. No sun worshipers, no religious nonsense. These were people who were picking up higher frequency. They lived for the intelligence of the future. We look forward to the future. Now we stuck in the past and the present. We stuck. Well, no, some of them are stuck. The black race is stuck. You should be trying to run the hell out of the black race. If by now you're not tired of the black race, if by now you're not tired of being amongst the black race, if by now you're not tired of listening to their conversations, you should be craving this light frequency. And I'm going to teach it to my people in the knowledge of mental. Like, I'm only going to teach the 144,000. You are the 144,000. The Mentalians are the 144,000. The Amun beings. Not no goddamn Nubians, not no Africans, not no Israelites, none of that. They come and gone. They're already finished. We already in the future stage. They don't even matter no more. They don't matter. They've come and gone. But a lot of y'all don't want to let it go. Y'all don't want to let it go. Damn sure ain't nobody ain't coming out the conscious community. Damn sure ain't coming out of there. You understand? This is the frequency that we're supposed to be tuning in on as that 144,000. You understand? Those noon people or those 9 people. 144 equals 9. Those noon or new people. The noon people. 9, noon. You understand? Those light frequency beings. Those light solar intelligent beings. Reading light messages. Those natural receivers. Caretakers again. The planet will become smaller. Or let's just have more space. That's what I mean, smaller. More space. You understand that? As a new group of beings come onto the planet from your bloodline, from your genetics, you should be looking forward to this. I said the bright man shouldn't mix his seed with the black man, or the black woman, excuse me, or the black woman should not mix her seed with the bright woman should not mix her seed with the black man, because it'll slow down frequency. You'll start to see the gap in there. You'll start to see the gap in there. The whole point of everybody, like I said, when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad broke off and formed the Nation of Islam and did the Muslims and went on to that whole Muslim thing, they was breaking off from the black race there. Y'all didn't even see it. They said, yeah, they was interested in the black race, but they really wasn't. They was interested in a certain group of people out of the black race, because they already knew the whole black race wasn't going to accept this message. He already knew that. He was saying, he knew it. You understand? The man was smart. He knew. He was a bright man. He knew that the majority of the people wasn't going to accept it. You know? Dr. York, we did the Nuwapian. He knew the majority of people ain't going to accept it. They ain't for all the black race. Just like when we with the state of Mentel, ain't for all our people. It's not. We don't want all our people there. We don't want the black. We don't want the black people there. They're not our people. We don't want them there. We want the bright ones there. It's about 144,000 plus of you. You understand? My job is to find you. My job is to pull you out as receivers. Your job is to find each other, because that is your future. That should be your only focus. Money and things, all that stuff I talked to you about, your personal living conditions, all that's going to be small things in the realm of your evolution. This should be what you should be doing. You should be trying to bring this message closer to you, closer to your children. Engulf yourself in it, because this is the change. But a lot of our people don't want to step out of that comfort zone. You don't want to step out of the past and the present, or your friends, and want to, what my friends going to think, what the white man going to think, what society going to think. Man, if you concerned about that, you ain't really seeing what's going on. You don't see it's on it. All this stuff is on its way out. You don't even see that. What's the sign that all this stuff is on its way out? Man, they let the homosexual and the lesbian and the animal and the pedophilia, all that stuff in there. Once the moralities of a society is gone, that's the end of society. You don't see that? That's the end right here. Hell, a damn white man gonna tell you, ain't me saying, tell a white man tell you, man, it's the end of America. He'll tell you that. This society's over with. This planet's over with. Once the moralities of a society is gone, that's it, man. And this society dictates the moralities of other societies. So once the morality of the society goes, that's going to be a domino effect all over the planet, because something new is coming in. Something has to be destroyed in order for something new to be built. Something new has to come in. That's why I said, that's why you see the bestiality, the homosexuality, the lesbianism, all that's coming. I said, beautiful. Let it all in. I said, let it all in. That's part of the solar intelligence, bringing this thing to an end. Beautiful. More gay pride, more gay power, fly the flags, bring all the gays out, bring the lesbians out, bring it all out, so that the right ones can separate. Because this society is supposed to make you so sick to where you're supposed to separate. Bring out the niggas that's eating people. You understand? Bring it out. Bring out R. Kelly pissing on people. Bring it out. You understand? Bring it out. It's supposed to make the bright ones sick. Bring out the stupid niggas and they conscious talk and the red, black, and green, some more onks and all that stupidity and all that nigga nonsense. Keep bringing it out, because it's supposed to make the bright ones of you sick till y'all had enough. How many of y'all done had enough? You understand? Is enough enough? Because you should be fighting like hell to bring this evolution. You should be fighting like hell to bring it together. If you sitting and functioning, you niggas that sitting out here, y'all claim you. If you listening to this message and it's not heating you up, because you're supposed to be getting heated up. Just like the sun, you're supposed to be getting heated up to go find your people. You're supposed to be getting heated up. If you ain't heated up, if you still lukewarm, like, yeah, that was deep, brother. You just like you niggas, you still with the black race. You still in the present. You still you still caught up in the present. You still worrying about your day-to-day BS. You understand? But it's supposed to heat you up. I'm heated up. That's why I could do 3 broadcasts, run a business, and do all the stuff I'm doing, because I'm sped up. You understand? Doing conferences and doing the project and stuff like that, traveling to D.C. I'm going to be in D.C. on the 14th. That's because I'm sped up. You understand that? They're supposed to speed you up. You're supposed to bring this. You're supposed to bring me to where y'all at. Find our people. If you really are of this evolution. If you feel this. If you don't, then don't listen. Don't be phony. Don't make this a habit. And when I go listen to black radio, this is not a black message. Go listen to black radio. Go listen to niggas talking about the Ankh and 666 and the white man and all that BS that you heard a million times. Go listen to that. Don't listen to me. Don't waste my time. Don't waste your time. This ain't for you. This is transition knowledge. This is transformation knowledge. This is bright knowledge. This is mentellect. For the mentally elect, for the 144,000. If you not of the 144,000, then get the hell off of my goddamn radio broadcast, man. Don't listen. Let my phone things be clear. Go listen to niggas talk you in circles. We're not talking in circles anymore. We're kicking the goddamn door down and moving forward with this bright knowledge, with this solar intelligence. Join us Friday. I'm thinking about doing a broadcast on why the black male and female relationships are coming to an end, because black men are looking to become bright men, and they're going through the evolution. A lot of you black men are going to go through this mental evolution where a so-called black woman who's limited is not going to be enough for you anymore. You're going to be seeking out bright women, but you're not going to know how to say it. So I might talk about the end of the relationships between black men and black women, even though I'm not concerned about that. But I'm only doing that to talk about the evolution of the black man and why he's not going to be any satisfied with the average black woman anymore. Join us with that, unless the black woman raises her frequency and they come up together, because there's going to be a gap. I might talk about that Friday, but we'll see. I said I don't want to really focus on the black race, but I know my people are still amongst the black race and got that black mindset, so it is what it is. We've come to the end of our broadcast. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkarayzz. This is State of Mentel Radio. Join us again on Friday as we talk about, like I said, the subject, I don't know yet. We'll see. I'll come to something good. Good night.